Good evening. It is 5:43 on September 11th, 2019. It is the monthly meeting of the Urbana Human Relations Commission. Could we please have a roll call?
Francis Rigberg Baker.
Here.
Carol Bradford. Stacy Burnett. Lisa Mosley.
Here.
Daniel Larson.
Here.
Peter Resnick.
Here.
Lolita Dumas.
Here.
Brianna Donald.
Thank you. Looking over tonight's agenda, are there any corrections or edits that need to be made? If not, is there a motion to approve?
With one change, I understand that Rachel Storm will not be attending this evening, and I did mention before the meeting that should probably go under new business when she does arrive, since it's city business, not just public participation. But either way, with that change, move approval of the agenda.
I second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Thank you. Looking over the minutes from our July 10th meeting, are there any additions, edits, or corrections that need to be made? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve the minutes for July 10th.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Thank you. So let's get moving. Public participation? None this month, so we will move on to some old business. And we are going to change things up on the commission a little bit. So we would like to, is there a nomination on the floor for the chairperson?
I'd like to nominate Francis Rigberg Baker for chair.
Second.
Excellent. Any discussion? Nope, not needed at all. All those in favor, please.
Further nominations, I think, need to be asked for.
Oh, excuse me. And then also, we also need to.
No, you have to ask, are there any further nominations?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nominations.
I didn't. Are there any further nominations? Excuse me.
I'd like to nominate Peter as vice chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Sorry about my stumbling. So we have a motion on the floor for Fran to take over as chairperson and Peter to continue as vice chair. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, the same? Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you both. Indeed.
No recount needed.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Now we're going to move on to our next agenda item, which is new business, and it's the Expungement and Record Sealing Summit.
Yes, basically it's a request for funding for this event. Like we've done in years past, we've given a $150 donation to the event, and we've been asked to do that again.
I think it's a worthwhile project.
Absolutely. And it seems like it's growing, and I'm glad we've been involved.
Do you need a motion?
Happy to make a motion to approve the expenditure of $150 toward the Expungement and Record Sealing Summit.
I second it.
Excellent. Any quick discussion? I think so. Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Opposed, the same? Excellent. All righty, Vasilia, we're going to turn it over to you. Staff report, please.
Alrighty, let's start with the EEO certification request, or renewals.
Looks like we have 4 renewals, no new applications. We've got Health Alliance, and the staff recommendation is for 2 years. We've got the CDW Government, staff recommendation for 2 years. VCNA Prairie LLC, staff recommendation for 2 years. And Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley, staff recommendation for 1 year. Any questions or comments?
May I ask what the last Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley do for the city? Engineering, okay. I noticed that, yeah, they've had an increase, but yet not an increase in hiring minorities. It appears to me that the recommendations from staff are appropriate.
I agree with that.
Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly had a small increase in minority hiring, not huge,
No.
and way under,
Oh, is that
so they had an 18% increase,
But an 18%.
but, in total employment, did increase their women participation by 28%, but across the board on others, not much motion.
Does 1 year feel adequate for you? Not to put you on the spot, Pete, but they're doing better. But encourage them to continue their efforts. All righty, is there a motion towards approval? Yep.
All right. I will move that we approve Health Alliance for 2 years, CDW Government for 2 years, VCNA Prairie LLC for 2 years, and Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly for 1 year as per staff recommendations.
Is there a second?
A second?
Any last discussion or questions? Thank you all. Peter? All righty, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Excellent, thank you, guys. Cecilia, back to you. Where would you like to?
Okay, I'm going to start on the staff report.
Excellent.
We had that 6-week trauma training workshop. It ran from July 22nd through August 26th. We had 12 participants, all women, and they were Urbana residents. And the program was very well received, and they've asked that we do additional programs in the future. But I attended all but one session, and it was really very inspiring. Karen did an outstanding job. She's very good at what she does. So I was very pleased, and we held it at the Urbana Free Library. They gave us a space and didn't charge us for it. So I am going to try to work with Karen to get at least another workshop scheduled before the end of this fiscal year we're in. And as we move forward, I'd really like to know any ideas that you might have in terms of things that we could do as outreach. You can contact Fran, or you can contact me, and we can try to work things out. But I think we're getting a lot of some results as a result of our efforts. We were at the CU Day. A number of you guys showed up. I think it was fun. And we handed out brochures and just enjoyed the day. It was a lovely day. But I have had more inquiries to the office as a result of our efforts, so I'm real pleased about that. The community-based coding boot camp, well, I'm still working at it, but I have gotten as far as making contact with several people who've agreed that we can start off by doing some type of introductory workshop as it relates to the opportunities that exist with technology. And we will hopefully move towards actually putting on a coding boot camp kind of program after that introductory type of program. My complaints, like I mentioned, I'm getting more inquiries to the office. From the last report, from the July report, there were 3 complaints that had been filed formally with, well, 2 formally and 1 informally with the office. The first one, race-based one, the investigation is completed. I am going to begin working on writing up the findings for that within the next couple of weeks. The second one was a conviction record complaint, and I have worked with the parties, and we've reached a settlement agreement,
Okay,
and that should wrap up within the next week.
thank you.
And the last one was actually the informal complaint, which was the housing ADA accessibility issue, and it all worked out very, very nicely. They did move the complainant into an accessible apartment, and everybody's very happy. So,
Thank you.
and I've gotten some recent inquiries, haven't gotten to the point of filing a complaint with any of these three, but I am anticipating that the one that is raised, and it was ended up being a demotion, will most likely end up being a formal complaint. So I'll have more on that when our next meeting. The other one is an allegation of a hostile environment. The individual prefers going through an agency that allows for punitive damages and the possibility of filing a suit. So what I'm going to do with that particular one is work with the individual to help file with IDHR EEOC. And the last one is basically I'm working with this individual to help her find, work with their internal complaint process first. At this point, I would say that we don't have a standing in terms of any other than the disciplinary action, with no terminations, no demotions. So I'm gonna see what we can do internally with this particular one before I make a decision as to what's appropriate for that one. Oh, and Monique just pointed out that the purchasing ordinance, I skipped over that one. That's because we have no change. So I'm not sure, the status in terms of when we'll actually be before council on that. So that's pretty much a summary of my report. I can wait till we get to announcements. I have a couple other things that I want to share, but we can wait till the
Any
announcement.
comments about the discrimination inquiries, complaints?
Just a quick question. With the one that's going to, or that you're helping to go to IDHR, is there anything that prevents both from going forward, except for just the hassle of going through it twice, a city complaint and a state complaint? If the person wanted to, they could, but
Nothing in the ordinance. Our practice has been that if you file with IDHR.
we just hold off on doing it?
Yes.
I can't think of a good reason for us to do it anyway, except maybe, for us to, know that such discrimination is going on, but
Well, the real trick is the fact that the complainant is interested in punitive damages.
right. If the complainant is not interested in filing with us, then that's their business, obviously. And, if they, right, the most they're going to get is the
Compensatory.
$500 and conceivably back pay and all that.
Yes.
All right, I was just curious.
No, but there's nothing on the
process-wise.
books that says that we could not take the complaint.
Okay.
And in some instances, it might make sense from a strategic standpoint.
If I could just quickly editorialize, as this is my last moment as chair, I think it's so impressive, the wide variety of things that you've demonstrated in these 6 complaints. You solved some things informally, internally. You're helping them look through other agencies. For those who are listening or who will read the record in a month, I think there might be some preconceived notions about this commission. I think this is one way in 100 ways that we show, well, those preconceptions are wrong. We are not closed-minded or have our mind made up ahead of time. I think we're very open to solutions in a lot of different ways. So, sorry for jumping on
Well,
my
thank-
soapbox, but I'd like to say that to the community.
Thank you.
And thank you, Vasilia, that's impressive.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All righty. Moving forward to announcements, I have one announcement. The October meeting is canceled this year. So we will see everybody back here in November. And Vasily, you have a couple as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, I got an email today from Catalina. Catalina has moved, relocated, so she sent me an email indicating that she was resigning from the HRC. And she told me, she asked that I send her regards to everyone and her appreciation for all the good things that you guys do for the city.
Thank her as well.
Then there's another announcement. I might let Monique address this one.
Yes, there we go. Miss Karen Francisco, she lives in the community. She is getting together a brainstorming meeting. She works with the local chapter of League of Women Voters. She is inviting HRC, any of the commissioners that would like to come out to their think tank. It'll be on the 18th, so it's next week. I can give more information. I'll just forward you the email that she has. You can contact her directly if you are interested in it. We do understand that this is short notice, but it is something that is extremely important. She wants to make sure that she can just speak to the community about the different things that's going on and try to come up with some ideas to better help the community with the census coming up.
Great.
Another announcement? Another announcement. We are gearing up for Welcome Week. It is a week that starts September 13th through the 22nd. It is Welcome Week for the immigrants in our community. There's a brochure that you guys have of events that are happening throughout the community. One of the events that the City of Urbana is hosting is Coffee with the Mayor. It will be on Wednesday, September 18th at 10 a.m. in the council chambers. So yeah, if anyone could come out and support, she would greatly appreciate that. If not, we completely understand with people not being able to make it.
Impressive calendar of events. That's wonderful. Anything else? Fran,
I was
do you
just
have
going
an
to put in a vote for the Tagore Festival. It's really a very interesting event.
announcement? Yeah.
What's the name of that festival again, and when is it?
It's the Tagore Festival. Yes, 4 p.m. Yeah, he was a Nobel Peace Prize winner who was also a poet and playwright and interested in education and many other things. And he had 2 sons that he was going to send to Berkeley, but there was an earthquake. This was around 1906, I think. And he said, he sent them here instead. So he came here, and he was active with the Channing Murray group, and they're the ones who host this festival. And it's just very interesting, and it has a lot of diversity and so on.
That is awesome. It shows that this festival is being held on Saturday, September 14th from 4 until 9 p.m. at Channing Murray Foundation. That address is 1209 West Oregon Street here in Urbana, Illinois.
Excellent. Any other announcements? Please, Vasilia.
One other thing, maybe 2. I'm working on getting you guys a refresher, 1-hour refresher on parliamentary procedures.
Thank you.
And maybe since we're not going to have a meeting next month, we can have a time sometime during October where we can just do that, and it won't be
Absolutely.
more than an hour, and it'll be in very much in layman's terms on that particular topic. I am looking at either our former city clerk, our current city clerk, or someone else. So I'm not real sure what Charlie's schedule is. I know he has some vacations scheduled, and if we can't, if necessary, I've already kind of touched base with Phyllis Clark to ask her if she would come in and do it, and she has agreed to do that.
We could probably bring in some other commissions who might want to join us. I mean, we wouldn't want too full a room, but I'm sure others would benefit as well.
I'm sure, I'm sure. And lastly, I personally want to thank Daniel for his years of service on this commission.
Here, here.
Thank you.
We have enjoyed your leadership.
Yep, yep. I thank you guys for doing this together. I'm not going anywhere, just probably sliding a couple ways that way, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or I'll take, we can just, I know we go alphabetical, but I'd be happy to just swap chairs with Fran. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I'm proud to be a part of this group. Very proud. And thank you, Vasilia and Monique, for all your support. We couldn't do it without you, obviously. It goes without saying.
One last
Lisa.
question, I guess. So knowing that Catalina's not here, should we-
Yeah, do we need?
Microphone?
So,
I was just wondering if we want to reach out and think about future commissioners, just since we do have an opening or two.
Yeah, how does the mayor handle vacancies? Does she like input from other commissioners, or?
I think she's very open to a process. You can certainly make recommendations. You can chat with her about who you think would be a good person to be on the commission. And there is an application that is given out for folks to fill out. So most likely, anyone who would have an interest would have to fill out that application. And I believe she brings them in for an interview.
Mhm.
yep,
Yep.
excellent. But yeah, with a lot of new people arriving in the community, this might be some
Yeah.
new voices, and not that that matters, but yeah, if you guys can think of anybody, please inquire, because we always love fresh, new voices. So, all right, if that's it, Monique?
Before we close, I just wanted to let you all know that Carol Bradford is taking a small leave to deal with some family matters. She is not removing herself from the board, but she did advise that she's just going to take a leave until she gets some things together personally, and then she'll be back.
All right. Of course, we wish her well. Ready? If nothing else, then, we'll see you guys informally, maybe, in October, and then formally back here in November. All righty, this meeting is adjourned.